BTS, short for
방탄소년단,
or Bulletproof Boy Scouts in English, is a 7-member boy band hailing from South Korea whose music style spans pop, hip-hop, R&B, and EDM. The band is so wildly popular that in 2018, BTS brought in more than $4.6 billion, accounting for 0.3% of South Korea's entire GDP. It's no surprise a band this successful captivates its own die-hard dedicated fan base, officially known as the BTS Army, an acronym for Adorable Representative MC for Youth. Since BTS's formation in 2013, the Army has established themselves as one of, if not the most devoted, loyal, and diverse fan bases in music today, with at least 90 million fans worldwide. My name's Anthony Padilla, and today I'm going to be sitting down with the BTS Army to learn the truth behind this massive, elusive fandom. Does the BTS Army consist of a diverse group of level-headed people who find comfort in the core values of BTS? Or are they millions of superficial, screaming teenage girls obsessing over the most recent boy band craze who will turn their back once the next hit boy band emerges into the scene? Are these fans harmlessly showing their unwavering support for a band that resonates with them? Or are they nothing more than deeply disturbed, obsessive stalkers who crave celebrity interaction to fill a void in their own lives? Hi, Candace.
Hello.
Hello, Maclean.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, Megan. Thank you so much for coming out and teaching me about the wondrous world of the BTS Army.
Happy to do so, yeah.
What do you consider yourself? Part of the BTS Army? A BTS stan?
Army, yeah.
Everybody that knows me, I think, would say I'm a stan, but I don't want to use that word because I am not a psycho stalker.
Oh, you're thinking of the Eminem definition of it.
So, I mean, but do I talk about them every day? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I wake up in the morning, check my Twitter for news about them? Yes. Do I go to bed looking at a funny video so I can just like laugh? Yes.
Yeah.
So
do you dream of BTS?
Yes.
I think you're a stan. What does being part of the BTS Army entail?
Loving on the guys and
Loving on them.
yes.
You even got a shirt with them on there and it
Yes.
says love.
Love.
As long as you love their music, as long as you're a fan of, this group of 7 guys kind of making their own way, I think you can call yourself a BTS Army. I think it doesn't have to entail anything other than something as simple as that.
I feel like my day is not complete until I watch like at least an hour of BTS.
An hour BTS a
Yes.
day?
Yes.
Whoa. 365 hours of BTS a year.
Yeah.
How long have you been part of the BTS Army?
2 years.
2018.
I became a fan in 2017. I was actually going to see a movie at LA Live
Yeah.
and they were performing at the Staples Center. I walked through this crowd of just it felt like thousands of people with BTS gear, and I was like, what is going on? What is happening? I have to know about this. And after the movie, watch the AMAs, watch their performance of DNA, and literally it was downhill from there.
Your life changed forever.
I literally have defined it as before Bang 10 and after Bang 10. It's just.
Were you a fan from the moment you first heard a BTS song, or did it take you a while to kind of warm up?
I had this one friend, she was crazy about them.
Yeah.
And then she was trying to get me into them, and she just showed me music videos and pictures.
So you bonded with friends over BTS,
Yeah.
and then that kind of got you into
Yeah,
it?
I made a lot of friends through BTS.
I already have a soft spot for K-pop bands. And in Korea, all the males have to go to the army, to the actual army. Right. So the boys that were in the band that I used to kind of had to leave, take that break.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I need to fill this void with another band. And I was like, I'll give BTS a chance.
Yeah.
And I went to their concert and I was like, okay, yeah, sign me up in this army because this is amazing.
Just how big of a BTS fan are you?
I've seen them 8 times in the
In
2
2 years?
Yeah, well, basically in 1 year.
When the dolls, the Mattel dolls, BTS dolls came out, so I started recreating their outfits for their dolls.
Oh wait, so
Yeah.
you recreate looks that the guys
Yes,
wear in
for the
real
actual-
life, and you make little versions
Yes.
of them for the dolls?
Yes.
Whoa!
Being very active on social media with a fanstagram.
You run a fan BTS account?
Yes.
And what do you put on there?
I just post updates, whether they're going to attend a music show or just memes or just funny posts.
And do you have a lot of people that follow that account for that stuff?
I have 5,800 followers.
Oh, social media star! What is it about BTS that draws you to devote so much of your life to showing support for them?
I think it's their message when it's like telling all the ARMY to love themselves and speak yourself, especially now in this generation, how like people can feel really bad about themselves and like there's a lot of bullying. So like BTS is there to tell you that it's okay, like to just love yourself. It doesn't matter about your flaws or anything.
I might sound dramatic, but I do think that they make me like a better person in the sense that at least I'm thinking about it, you know, at least I'm thinking about loving oneself. At least I'm thinking about like their UNICEF campaign, their End Violence campaign. At least I'm thinking about these things and trying to incorporate them.
They teach you to be more positive in your day-to-day life?
Exactly.
Do you ever find that people judge you for your devotion to BTS?
The judgment comes from this very normative place of like looking down upon female connotated interests as opposed to a sports team or anything
the
that's
fanaticism is just as strong,
right,
but there's one that's been normalized and is seen as masculine.
Yeah, I think it's a cultural thing. I don't know, for whatever reason, the way that bands over there present themselves, they've been judged because, oh, they wear makeup, oh, look at what they're wearing, oh, they look too feminine, blah, blah, blah.
But those are just societal judgments about what's expected of a man.
Yes.
I don't know, to be honest. I really don't understand where they're coming from. Like, I got in a fight because their logic just did not work, and it's just like hate. They had no reason behind it, so I felt the need to say something.
Did you spread any hate in defending them?
Hate, I don't think it was necessarily considered hate.
Yeah.
I was just telling them facts.
How do you feel the BTS Army is different than other fan bases out there?
We're one big family, and like BTS are like our parents, if you were to say. And we just all look out for each other. We all care for each other, and it's just amazing to be a part of it.
So you're just a big, happy family with 7 dads.
Yes.
That's progressive.
The fact that we are so big, I mean, obviously there's bad apples sort of in anything like that, but I think there becomes more bad apples that gather together to create like some systemic issues.
The bigger any type of group, whether it's a subculture or fandom, the bigger those are, the more bad apples there are going to be.
Yeah.
Why do you think so many people do have harsh judgments about the BTS Army?
What we've been seeing with their specific meteoric rise is this sort of xenophobic undertone that comes with Western media covering BTS. There was a profile done by them recently where the author got a lot of ire from the fandom because he basically treated BTS as this thing that needed to be unveiled to the Western eye, and it has this underlying xenophobic tone of the West is the center, specifically American culture is the center.
Yeah. IDOLS wants to know if you're aware of all the mess up things that goes on in the K-pop industry.
I think that there becomes this narrative around the K-pop industry as being this sort of all bad industry that abuses its artists. I'm not saying that there haven't been abuses in the K-pop industry. Entertainment industry here has its own set of issues, so I think to sort of latch on to a criticism of K-pop, it belies a little bit of a narrative of like I'm ignoring what's happening in my own backyard. So I think that unfortunately that narrative comes from a more xenophobic place than people would be willing to admit.
What is one BTS song you feel everyone should listen to before having any judgment about BTS?
Honestly, Jin's solo.
Jin's
Epiphany.
solo?
The lyrics are so powerful, and it's like the chorus is I'm the one I should love in this world. Like it's like about loving yourself before loving others, and it's just so powerful, and like his vocals.
What is one thing you would say to BTS if they end up somehow watching this video?
Thank you. Thank you. Like literally, thank you so much for all of your hard work, and thank you so much for your message, because it really helped me through a lot. And like sometimes I'll just like, if I'm sad, I'll just listen to their music and my mood would instantly change. And it's just amazing. I love it so much.
You've said that if you make us just like 1% happy, that you guys feel accomplished, well, you have You guys have made my life very happy. I think you guys are the cure to loneliness, and also the inspiration for creativity and positivity that this world needs.
Is it customary for BTS Army to have their own specific favorite band members?
The term is bias. Like,
It's not a favorite, it's a bias.
yeah, like if you meet somebody, you'll be like, oh, hey, who's your bias in like blah, blah, blah group.
Then there's this thing called bias wrecker.
Wrecker.
Yes. A bias wrecker is like, okay, you have your bias, which is the guy that you like and
Yeah.
the one that you're dreaming of, but then all of a sudden you start noticing another one.
Oh.
And then that's the bias wrecker.
What do your parents and family think about your obsession with BTS?
My mom, actually, I got her eventually to like it.
Do you like it now? She has to!
Yeah,
she
like-
has to like it!
She's my concert buddy.
So my parents don't get it.
Uh-huh.
My brother loves it. So the insular nuclear family, we're half and half.
Okay.
We've got half that are absolutely ARMY all the way, BTS,
Uh-huh.
and then the older half, okay, boomers, like we don't, they don't get it, and that's fine.
I think deep down inside they just think, oh, she's gonna be single forever, because since there's a certain level of guy that I express my likings
so your
to.
expectations for guys is now BTS or nothing.
Or at least a BTS fanboy.
Okay.
If there's anyone out there.
I'm gonna give you a chance to get yourself someone. If you want to say something out there to someone, what would you say?
If you love BTS, we can get along. So hit me up.
Do you hope to be a BTS stan until the day you die?
I see myself liking them for a long time. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon because there's just so much to like about them, and it's just like so amazing to watch them.
Am I always gonna be a fan? Yes. Am I gonna like look back when I'm like old and gray and be like, man, I can't believe that I lived through that time? It's like almost being alive when you were into the Beatles back then.
Right,
But it's like now it's like, wow, I was part of history.
Will I like BTS when I die? Yeah, I think BTS really helped me with my own personal journey, both through law school, through mental health, all of that, just giving me sort of, I don't want to call them a coping mechanism, but like I think, they are a little bit, and so it becomes a part of you.
What is it about being a BTS fan that brings you the most joy?
I would really boil it down to a sense of belonging, that, if we're all trying to find it somewhere, why is it bad if some people have found it in a Korean pop group?
People are always asking me, oh, what do you do? Because I work a lot, I work in production, so long hours, and then it's like, okay, I go home and I could either be sad that I don't have a social life, or I can just like spend hours watching the boys being funny and doing their own things, and it brings me joy.
What do you think the biggest misconception about the BTS Army is?
So the stereotype about maybe, oh, why are you're Latina, why are you into like Korean music? We go through that a lot.
So some people think that you have to be the same race as the musician that you're a fan of?
Maybe because, and I guess it goes back to the language thing. They're like, how can you understand what they're saying?
You don't have to hear them saying the words to know what it means.
Exactly. You just enjoy the music.
Performance time! Was there anything you could teach me or show me that's part of
Teach
fandom?
you. Oh yeah, I can. It's called Fire, the music video.
Fire the music video.
Yeah. Their choreography is very interesting. Fire, and then you like do a little hop,
Fire, do a little hop.
and then you go 1,
1,
2,
2,
3, 4,
four.
and then you go like this. You have to move your arms.
Oh shoot, man! There's multiple body parts within
Yeah,
one
you
movement.
like, fire. Fire. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah! Am I part of the army now?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah!
Good job.
I actually have a parting gift for you,
Yes.
a Best Interviewer shirt that you can get at padildoshop.com. And you know what? I think this would look great in your next BTS fan photo.
Well, you know what I was going to say? If I ever get to interview them, I'm going to make sure to wear that shirt.
Yeah!
Subscribe to Anthony Padilla to love yourself like BTS would want you to.
At Purple You. All right, you got 5 seconds to shout out or promote anything you want directly to camera. Go.
Hi, you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube at BTS Fashionista.
Shout out to Mr. Jones' 6th period class history, and follow me on Instagram at correctgin.
Follow me at Meg_Allen, register to vote, and read Edward Said's 1978 book, Orientalism.
Thank you so much, Megan. I feel like I fully understand the wondrous world of the BTS Army.
Happy to help.
After spending the day with these BTS stans, I've come to understand just how strong of a positive impact BTS has made in their lives. When music and art have always cultivated such strong emotional responses in people, who are we to judge a fan base like the BTS Army for finding ways to unite and create a community in which love and acceptance are at the forefront of their values? See you later, bye guys.
Press a like. I was dating one guy that we had broken up, and but then 3 months later, hey, how you been? I'm like, well, I'm into BTS. And
You had to come out as a BTS fan
no, and
to your ex?
oh, but they don't kiss you, they don't hug you. And I'm like, well, they kiss and hug my soul.
More than you ever did.
Exactly.